Yes, good afternoon, family. Karibuni sana to another beautiful episode right here on the media of the 21st century. This is the Black Hot Fire Network radio station, 31 minutes past the top of the hour. I'm really, really late, but better late than never. And of course, I'm grateful to be here today. And a quick shout out to everyone live with us on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok. Shout out to Ton Lens, thank you so much for tapping the screen. Big up to Kevin. Big up to everyone who's also on the radio station. Everyone live with us on the show page. Everyone live with us on the Spotify. Everyone live with us on Spreaker, on the TV, Amazon, and Roku. Karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing great. A wonderful Wednesday afternoon right here from the 254. It is quite sunny. I don't know what's the weather on your end, but on today's conversation, we shall be focusing on something I mentioned yesterday on my show, where we saw the UN official giving us information and data on how Congo has been able to generate around $300,000 a month revenue to control mining areas in the east of the country. So we shall be talking about that and see how this is going, because I was reading an article yesterday again, and I think sometime last year too, at around this time, I think that's the time they get to release the data of how the country has been affected, how much is generated, how much is what. But the same people actually reporting this are the same people who have kept the official there raping people. This is why we have cases of monkeypox now emerging. That the same people actually torturing the residents by bombing the same places they're claiming to be protecting. So it is quite crazy. And the question is, Africa lives and the resources need to be saved. But who will be able to save it? Who will save Africa? The African lives and resources need to be saved, but by who? That is the topic and the conversation for today, because we look at actually the awakening of Africans. We're not going to deny that. But as we were having the discussion we were having yesterday, even talking about the freedom of expression in an African country or the continent itself, literally, it has been so targeted. If you try talk about such kind of things, if you try address the truth, how we need to change leadership. And something Shmani mentioned is that we can see the awakening and the mass awakening of Africans. But again, we go back to the percentage, because we have people who really need to go 6 feet under, and we have people awakening up to actually have the courage to face everything the way it comes. And that is what basically we shall be discussing right here on today's conversation. On the other end, we shall also talk about what is happening in South Africa. Remember the case of the pigs, the two couples who are fed. It was not couples, but women who are fed to pigs. There's an outrage that has actually emerged in South Africa. We shall be reading much more on the details, because remember, the people who are capable of that action, they were last week or 2 weeks ago taken to court. But is justice really going to be found in a country that is really full of white supremacy, and in a country where majority of the black people, even themselves, do not have a voice? Is really justice going to be found in South Africa? Or are we going to see much more of these cases emerging, just like the rest of the African countries, the disrespect we face from this other race? Last but not least, I'll be sharing a video coming from the 254, where actually there is a 2026 summit that is a France-Africa summit that is supposed to be held right here in the 254. Remember, we had the climate summit, global climate summit, which was held in the 254 still. That was this year. And the question is, where is Kenya heading? That is the question. Shout out to Keith. He said something yesterday, how Kenya really messed up. Not really that much. I don't believe we really messed up that much. The people in Lebanon, but because that I caught that when Demora was talking about that on the show. Where we had these women who are complaining how they're stuck in Lebanon despite the situations going on there with Israel and everything. But economically, Kenya, the people, we really need to save our country, because we are drowning. I'm trying to look at the kind of borrowing of loans that is going on around, and it's questionable. Where are we going to be in the next coming years? Are we going to end up like Nigeria? Or where are we going to be? Because it's really so many questions we need to ask. But karibuni sana once again. Back to one more jam. Come back with the quote of the day as we get straight to the conversation of the day. This is Kitenge by the one and only Nviri the Storyteller, one of my favorites. And I hope you guys get to enjoy this. I'll be coming back with much more of what is happening.
Reaching out to all the massive on the African continent. And introducing to the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby. From Monday to Friday. I'm going crazy, yeah. Sasa ninavalishwa kitenge tukifanana penzi ni ya milele. You wanna stop sasa kupende ili vitu kwangu ni crazy. Vile kitenge itafanya penzi iwe milele. Na mbona na stop sasa sipende ili vitu kwangu ni crazy. One plus one wachaibaki one. Msinifunze mimi nimeshalan. Napambana na hali yangu kama Saddam. Basi tusiwa mind wale, tusiwa masikio wale. Yeah baby we'll be fine wale. Tusiwa onyeshe kilio wale.
Yes, welcome back once again, and of course to the Pan African English Show. This is the Black Hot Fan Network radio station, media of the 21st century. For those who are just tuning in via TikTok, everyone who's live with us on YouTube, on Twitter, on the show page, on Amazon TV, on Roku, on the radio, on Spotify. And in case you do not have all those applications, or you're wondering how can you get or stay connected on all those platforms, it's very, very easy. Ensure you rush to the Google Play Store. In case you're here for the first time, first subscribe on whatever platform you're streaming live with us from. If in case you are on YouTube, if you are on Twitter, ensure you follow us, Black Hot Fire Network radio station. Being shadow banned because we talk facts right here, of course, you're not going to be able to receive notifications. So having our app is very, very important. Our application actually does bring you notifications every time we go live. If you stay notified, it has a notification bell, so every time we go live, or if I get to send a notification message, you can actually get notified every time we're going live. So karibuni sana once again. And after that, ensure you also check out our merchandise page, because we have amazing t-shirts, we have hoodies. You can get yourself your mug, a mug branded maybe your name, whatever you really want to be branded over there. Just ensure you book with us, Black Hot Fire Network radio station. And in case you are in the States and you're wondering how to do that, kcnewsam15@gmail.com. That's the email you can use to be able to make your orders. And right here in the 254, it's the Black Hot Fire Network 254@gmail.com. That's how you can be able to stay connected with us. You can also be able to check out our amazing vitamins and beverages that is on our Black Hot Fire Network sports store. And for those who are working out like Joe Mosquito, for those who are looking forward to have natural, healthy hair, those who are looking forward to have strong, healthy nails, everything healthy, ensure you check out with the Black Hot Fire Network store as well. Karibuni sana once again. My name is Joby. And as we get straight to the conversation, I want to start with, of course, what is happening from my in-laws, South Africa. I'm getting the accent right slowly by slowly. Shout out to everyone who was live with us yesterday on the Culture Show. We had an amazing time right here. And of course, we're getting the accent slowly by slowly. But of course, going back to South Africa, of course, remember 3 or a month ago, we had, of course, a case that did emerge. Actually, a crime. This is not a case. This is a crime which right now as we talk, we should have these people rotting in prison or probably even executed in any sort of way, But we have Maria McGott, who's 45, and Lucia Ndovu, that's her name, 34, were allegedly looking for food on the farm near Polokwane in South Africa's North Limpopo province in August when they were shot. Their bodies were then alleged to have been given to pigs in an apparent attempt to dispose of the evidence, and the court is now to decide whether to grant a bail. The audacity to the farm owner, who's Zakaria Johannes Olivia, 60, years of age, and his employee Adriana DeWitt, who's 19 years of age, and William Musora, 50 years of age, ahead of their murder trial. The three men have not yet been asked to enter a plea court, which will happen when the trial begins at a later date. That is what they are saying. At a previous hearings, protests have been demonstrated outside the court, demanding that the suspects be denied bail. And Miss Magot's brother, Walter Madole, has been telling the BBC that the incident has further exacerbated racial tensions between the black and the white people in South Africa. This is especially rife, in the rural areas of the country, despite the end of the racist system of apartheid since 30 years ago. The three men in court of Polokwane also faced 3 charges of attempted murder for shooting. What do you mean attempted murder? That's why you just lose me. What do you mean attempted murder? These people are these 2 women are dead as we talk right now. What do you mean attempted? What? And this I questioned. And of course I know kid don't even come here. Don't invade my show. I know if you come here, you're gonna start ranting about South Africa. But this is just so crazy. I'm asking, will really justice be able to be served to these families, the husband, the children? Probably if they had children. I'm not sure if this, but I bet the age that they are in, they probably had children. Is justice really going to be found in a country that where you can see white supremacy literally naked in your very own eyes? I was shocked the other day when Keith made me share that video where how we have blacks living and white people living. I'm not going to say it's not like that in most of the African countries, because if you also look at Kibera, if I'm to show Kibera and then the next neighborhood, it's a government estate. But there's a slum right here. People cannot even, they don't see even light every single day. There's blackout maybe majority of the times. Sewages running all over. Poor sanitary in terms of toilet. So what do you mean an attempted murder? These are actually, we get to understand again. I wish actually Africans, we can cope. We can understand, and we can be able to stay notified about other African countries. What is happening to them? And shout out to TikTok. Through TikTok, I believe that is one of the ways people right now are able to see what is going on in other countries. Because back then, all we used to do is rely on the mainstream media. If they bring us news about Kagame being president, Kagame winning elections, Museveni maybe doing something in his country, you won't see much more of the deep effects that the people are going through, which is just the reality. But again, I'm saying shout out to TikTok because people are able to see the daily activities in other countries, and I believe this action should shed so much light to black people, especially those who are still seeking opportunities to go outside. The same people stuck in Lebanon, the same people stuck in Qatar, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, somewhere in Tunisia, Libya, I don't know where you are, trying to seek greener passages or trying to make your life better. I wish you can see, number one, and understand before you step out the kind of racism. If you're ready to face that, if you're bold enough, then fine. But understand your boldness is also going to get you a bullet as a black person. These are white supremacy. You know, we have to literally understand power from this. Because what do you mean an attempted murder? These people are already killed. They have been fed to pigs to clear the evidence. And they used a damn African person, 19 years of age, and I think the other one was 50, because they are the workers, to clear the mess. Instead of you as an African person actually going out, shedding light to the fellow villagers, what these white people are doing, how racist this is, you're covering up for your master. That's a house Negro, right? That's all. Those are the people we call the house niggers, right? This is just so sad. This is so sad for South Africa. But they're also saying, let me read that again. The 3 men in court in Polokwane also face charges of attempted murder for shooting at Miss Dolbu's husband, who was with the women at the farm, as well as possession of the unlicensed firearm. They didn't mean an attempted. They meant to kill that guy. They really meant to kill that guy. It's just because he escaped, but he was meant to be dead. The husband, who survived the ordeal of the evening of Saturday, 17th August, and crawled away and managed to call a doctor for help. He says he reported the incident to the police and officers found the decomposing bodies of his wife and Miss McGott in the pigsty several days later. Miss Mathole said that he was with the officers and saw a horrific sight inside the pig enclosure and his sister's body, which had been partly eaten by the animals. And this again, I feel like this is why we go back spiritually as African people, and we need to understand also the kind of foods we eat and how demonic, I'd say, they kind of are, because biblically we warned. Okay, I'm not coming from on a biblical context, but trying to understand this incident. Biblically, we warned we should not eat the pig. If you try to look at the pig also yourself, a pig is a really dirty animal. And I'm so grateful, being honest, I've been able to stop eating pig. I can't stand it. I can't stand pork anymore. I really can't. No matter how good you fried it, you can't convince me to eat pig or pork in your house. Feed that to yourself. And after seeing, shout out to Kamlesh again, after seeing the how full of parasite effective this is to your body, I'm not eating no pork. You die full of parasites eating you. You think you're healthy. You think you're getting fat. You think, bro. As we understand power, I feel like this is effective spiritually of the foods we eat, because pigs are really dirty. They eat everything. If you see a pig in a dumping site, they eat all the diapers, they eat all the shit, they eat all the sewages, anything to survive, right? And now we have white people feeding us to pigs, and us, we eating pigs. Something we should learn too from that. We've been fed to the most dirtiest animal. I don't know if it's the most dirtiest animal on earth, but it should be. Yeah, it should be, because it's really dirty. A pig is so dirty. We've been fed to the most dirtiest animal in the world, and yet we feed ourselves this most dirtiest. We need to understand energy. I'm not be a motivational speaker at all, but this incident of South Africa should shed so much light to us as African people. Because if I am to read the whole article, which is very, very long, I'm not sure if these people are going to face justice or not. I'm really not sure. Let me continue a little bit of the article to hear what they're saying. The family of Ms. Magotu says that they are devastated by her killing, especially her 4 sons. Of course, they had children, aged between 22 and 5 years old. And they say, this is one of the sons, my mom died a painful death. She was a loving mother who did everything for us. We lacked nothing because of her. And he also adds, I think I'll sleep better at night if alleged killers are denied bail. They should be dead too, actually, if you said it better. The opposition economic freedom fighter party has said that the farm should be shut down, which is very, of course, with immediate effect. These people should be they should find their way back home. This is not their home. South Africa has never been white people's home. Man, I feel like sometimes my audacity should be heard by so many people. Like, you should have the audacity to, you know, I like sometimes the way Kid says how he loves revenge, because it's the audacity for me, you know, like, who do you think you're talking to? Who do you think you're not? We're not promoting violence as Blackout Fire, but with the white people, it has come too much. Trust me. This is too much. Personally, I wouldn't stand this. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not watching you talk. I'm not gonna be that coon who said we should just forgive them and let them be, It's an accident, shit happens. And pardon my language, I'm not gonna be that. It's the audacity. Because if I were that man should be seeking a way to kill that white person. Because I'm certain the system, of course, is gonna favor him. The system is gonna favor him. Find a way how you can secure your children's future, protect them, ensure they're gonna have an ending wealth according to the position of which you are, but you are working on a white man's farm. So definitely the position you are in is fucked up. It is really messed up. You are a poor person depending on the master. So this is why they are treating you how they treat you in your own farm. Hey, okay. White people have really come too much. Like they have gone too far. They're also adding that the EFF cannot stand by while products from this farm continue to be sold as they pose a danger to the consumers. The South African Human Rights Commission has condemned the killings and called for anti-racism dialogue between affected communities. Groups representing farmers who are often white, not black, who are often, can you even hear who are often white, say farming communities feel under attack in a country with high rate of crime. Though there is no evidence farmers are at any great risk than anyone else. Because, and I've seen that actually, the majority of the videos I've been pulling up lately, when you look at the South Africa situations, is white people claiming how they feel attacked, they need to be protected. It's how they play the victim. You are the cause of the problem. You've denied people their right to get back their lands. You've denied people their right to freedom. Actually, we even have cities people cannot even. There's sundown areas or counties or whatever you want to call them in South Africa. People cannot walk freely. Like with the audacity. It's crazy, man. Karibu sana.
I wasn't gonna come, but I had to again.
I knew
You know,
it.
you know I was coming. So
I
well,
knew.
so, so, and tell Christine I said, "Shut, I'm driving, Christine. I couldn't type you back. I'm good." Isn't it always funny? The racism always comes from the white people, not the black people. They're always gonna have these talks of racism because it always comes from white people.
Sure.
That's what they did goddamn 30 years ago, as they supposedly end apartheid, which they never did.
Mm-hmm.
Because the South African is too damaged in the head. He's too colonized. Because sadly enough, the South African never fought this wicked ass cracker.
True.
The Kenyans fought him.
I feel like with the help of the other African countries, the fact that we should know what was the percentage of the participation of the South Africans, because we know the majority of the help came from the.
They protested in the streets, yo. Okay, I guess they call it fight. They protested, but they didn't get any. They didn't get any physical fights. The physical fights were done by the Angolans, really Angola, and yeah, really just Angola that was fighting South Africa, and South Africans also controlled Namibia at that time. So understand, South Africa distant control. White people distant control South Africa. They also had Namibia as well. So it was Angola who physically fought them. The South Africans always just sing and dance in the street and walk around protesting, saying shit is bad, it's bad, yeah, all that old dumb shit. But they never physically fought. And so when they gave him that puppet fake ass leader Nelson Mandela, they said we're gonna do this, Joe. We're gonna have a truth and reconciliation, so white people get to tell the truth about them being brutally and fucking up black people, but nothing's gonna change. You're not gonna get the land back that they stole. You're gonna stay poor. So nothing's changed. We just got this nigga as some fake president. And that's supposed to be so since the South Africans, are draped in years of ignorance,
Hmm.
they believe that meant something because they got a black man as a president who's really controlled by white people. So they didn't understand the scam. So it's a scam. We got a black man now. So
Mhm. Well, I want to agree. I want to agree with you because I feel like the lack of involvement, lack of the physical involvement, did not, or is not helping South Africans
yeah,
understand why they fought for
revolution.
what they fought
You
for.
guys got that right on your show, Joby. Revolution is free, the price of freedom is death. If
Hmm.
they don't die, the price of freedom is death. White people
Yeah.
don't give you power because they're wicked.
Hmm.
They're not giving you over the power to sit they stole. And you said it's not the land. It's not the country, but white people believe it's theirs, Joby. They said we
Yep.
stole South Africa. It's
Hmm.
our land. That's why they made cities in South Africa that don't allow black people in there. And the
I
black people did anything, it was to burn that shit down to the ground, Joby.
Nothing. And this is why it is shocking. You can even hear from the article like I'm reading, majority of the farmers are often white people. Like,
They own all the farms, Joby. Black people own those farms in South Africa. They own all the land. So now you're working on your land with white people who stole it. Same thing in
exactly.
Kenya. Same thing in Kenya, Joby. Those lands are
Yes,
not by
man.
those.
Trust me. I don't care whether my grandpa, whether he bought a farm, whether he got it from from his father, from his fellow grandpa. I don't care. I'm going to stand for what I've seen being protected. If I were to go back today in the village and I see white people messing up our shit, I don't care whether I'm part of participating in that wealth or not. I'm not gonna stand up and I declare that with my life. I'm not gonna stand up and watch a white man fuck up our farm. Okay? Because I think I've seen that, and this is why I've seen less
Remember, remember,
production of
remember,
wealth from
remember,
our
Joby.
farming right now. Because we used to
Remember what?
produce
Yeah,
acres.
remember what Demore show said that the sellouts allowed the white farmers to keep the land in Kenya that they stole that was never given back. So you got white people and all these tea farms and coffee farms got black Africans working on their land as slaves, Joby.
It's
Not
like
just
that.
it's not just in South Africa. It's in Kenya. It's in Ghana. It's in Nigeria. And white people never gave back them lands they stole.
I'll say this. This is not a battle for the weak, like you always say, okay? This is
Of
not a
course.
battle for the weak. If you're not
No.
ready, then you can't really fight for Africa. You can't fight for anything of yourself. This is not a battle for the weak. Because for me, it's just the audacity. Because I wonder how South Africans have been able to take this kind of bullshit. Is the audacity for me in a court where they're telling me
Yeah.
there was an attempted murder where there's someone already dead. That is a hell of a disrespect. God damn it, you
Of course.
shot me. I just survived.
Of course.
What do you mean an
Exactly.
attempted murder?
Exactly. But they know you as a South African. You're usually what weak.
Oh,
You're usually weak as they only did. Forget that South African shit. White people don't see as that you get to South African. They see as African. Okay, let's get past. I'm telling you what the white minds. They don't believe in none of that South African, Kenyan, fuck all that shit. That they know they made that shit up for you. They see he's an African. They say all Africans are weak and stupid, and we'll rule their ass. They don't do shit about it. Fuck them. They see all Africans as weak and
it's
stupid.
not.
That's why you always hear that thing. They say, "Oh, white people always see black people what paternalistic." You always hear that term. Paternalistic means what, Joby? They're the parents and you're the child. You always say that. Oh, that's a paternalistic thing they do to us. Yes, they think they're the adults and you got the mind of a child. You're a moron. So it's
I
a
think
per.
I'll go
Go
back
ahead.
to the video you made me share. I think it was of the Japanese and the Chinese movie where we had the Chinese or the Japanese being
Oh,
disrespected. I don't
that's a Japanese. That's a Japanese. Go back. Get to my bridge over the River Kwai when when Japan were kicking all the white people out of all their colonies in Asia, and they said the Japanese is gonna rule Asia. We're Asians. We're gonna rule this bitch. No more white people will rule this. And so that's when he came and said, "Do you know the law of such and such?" And he smacked them in the head. He said, "I don't give a damn about your law. This is my
exactly.
law."
That's what we're supposed to do. I'm a smack your head.
Exactly, Joby.
You're losing
Exactly.
sleep.
But you never done it.
Oh my God, we're killing each other to the ground. We're dying. Okay, we're fighting. Fuck your law, and I mean that.
Yeah, because that's their law. What's your law? Exactly. How somebody come to your land and make laws for you, Joby? That's your land. You make the law. That's what the Japanese were telling the cracker. Motherfucker, you don't make no laws in Asia. I'm Asian. God damn it, we don't make no laws. You don't make no laws that we respect. You people invaded Asia. I'm taking it back. That's what the Japanese are telling the cracker. I'm taking it back. I'm taking all of it. And they did take all of it. So I'm taking all of it, god damn it. Fuck is you telling me your law? Fuck your law. That's why he asked him, Joby, where he smacked him in his head. He said, do you know the Japanese law? He said, and that would have been like, well, Japanese? Why would I know your shit? He smacked his ass in the head, exactly. Fuck you talking about, do I
I'm a
know your law?
I'm gonna spit on your face and smack your head. There's nothing you're gonna do about it, and you're gonna do as I say, because this is my country. This
Yes, that was
is
that was you
mine.
that's now you hear what you said. That's called respect, Joe. That's what you're supposed to do. But the Africans have not done that. They've allowed everybody to come in, treat them like shit on their own land. That's what you see. You don't know. You teach people how to treat you, Joe. You don't know about to disrespect you on your own goddamn land. The continent is named Africa. It's not called Europe. It's Africa. God damn it, I'm the master of this motherfucker. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you like it or not.
So I go back to that. Was it Angola or Australia? I can't remember. No, I think it was Angola, where we had this girl who was talking to that white woman, and she asked her, which is your
No, no,
originality?
no, 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 that was Australia. They said,
Australia.
who do you think? That was Australian commander because she was trying to say she was the original Australian. They said, where do you think my land is? Where do you think I'm from? And he said, England?
Yeah,
Exactly.
England.
They're not Australians. They invaded. The white people invaded these places, so they go to invade places and call themselves those places. Well, you got the South Africans call themselves Afrikaners. Like, what are you talking about? You ain't no. You're from Europe. You're from Denmark. You're Dutch. That's where they came from. So they go to lands and they assume the culture, and then they call themselves the land. So they have taxes on it. Like they say, where do you think I'm from? Where do you think I am? He said, English? That's right. You're not no Australian. You're not from Australia. You people invaded Australia 200 years ago.
I kind of wonder where. I don't know if this applied, but I feel like this applied in the ancient times when we had again African women choosing the men who could lead in either war
Yeah,
or
you couldn't
war.
lead, Joby, if an African woman didn't choose. You weak African women would kill weak men, Joby. They would
Exactly.
kill your
That is,
ass.
that is
You
what I
can
wanted to mention. I think that was applicable, and the disrespect, because I should give you hell of a disrespect if you can't protect me.
exactly. They wouldn't you because that could be exactly because that would be your life. Uh, that's why women don't like weak men, Joby. That's the nature. So you couldn't rule without the consent of a woman. You're too weak. She get rid of you. You can't. You can't. You cannot protect the people. You're too weak. But now you got a whole different system. You're reading about all these men in Africa now weak. He's weak. Ruto, he's weak. He's a moron. 70's a weak moron. Paul Beer, all these African leaders are weak morons. That's why people are like, damn, Ebro Toure looks like an old ancient African leader. Yeah, because he put they want to kill his ass.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And the weak leadership, this is where it has gotten us. I want to share this 11-minute
Yes,
video. I'm going to
go
try
ahead.
fast forward it. This guy is explaining how Ibrahim Traore is shook by how Kenya is moving. While we have the Alliance Sahel states trying to get rid of the AU, the UN, the ECOWAS bloc, not attending any summits, and actually making their intentions very clear even on those summits by sending maybe their representatives, because I read that yesterday. They're like, yeah, we mean human rights protection. That is what our country has been doing. 1, 2, 3 things and all that. But Kenya, despite holding the global summit. It was the Global Climate Summit, right? It was
That
right here in
climate
Kenya.
bullshit.
That was this year, and that, of course, brought a lot of controversy to so many people who understood what is going on and where Kenya is heading. Kenya is yet again to hold a France Africa Summit that
Yep.
is in 2026, and the Alliance Sahel state itself is just shocked, and that's
Now
what I was
because
saying.
because they're using another puppet state to try to get around. That's why Ruto said, Burkina Faso's wrong, and they should keep him to a race supposed to give up power. He's not supposed to be there because these puppets are scared to death, Joby. This is the
Of
waking
course.
up of Africa. All these puppets are going to get this work. That's what
Mhm.
they scared to death. All these corrupt, weak ass motherfuckers. Africans like saying no. The frequency is changing. I always say, as much as I talk about Africa, I want you guys to understand this. Africa is the wealthiest place on the planet.
Mhm.
Africans always been wealthy, and the Africans are going to rule Africa again. And they will be the wealthiest people on the planet again. Okay, no matter, I might get mad about what's happened to us as African people the last 500 years, the take in, the slavery, the dumb down. Yeah, but I know that the outcome is that the African will rule this bitch again. I know that's coming. I know those babies are being nurtured in those African women's stomach. Those warriors are coming. Africa will rule. See, through history, Africans have always been the majority on the planet and the rulers of this motherfucker. We're the only people that rule in what? Love and kindness. We're the only people that's not racist.
Mhm.
Only people that rule with equality are Africans. Because Africans always rule with love and equality. That's why everybody says if you're ever in trouble, no matter what country you're in, go seek out an African woman.
And that's
She'll
why
help you.
Africans are always in trouble again, like being attacked no matter where they are, especially when you
Of
go outside.
course.
You don't understand the kind of race you're dealing with, and how they perceive you because they think you're weak. Number one, they know you're full
Of
of
course.
love, so you're not gonna
Of
be
course.
reacting to kind of racism.
Exactly.
You're gonna just be like, shook by the
Exactly.
culture, but you're not gonna be reactive towards it. And this is why we have Black Americans where they should come in and actually teach Africans how to
Be
put an
aggressive.
up, because you gotta check a Karen, because they check on you.
Yeah, you
Karens
got.
go crazy. They spit on
Yeah,
you. They wanna talk shit
yeah,
to you.
you got to check
Like,
them. I tell African Americans, look what's happened. Okay, now your salvation is to go back home. Your home is Africa, whether you like that or not. You came from Africa. I know some of us was here because we was all over the planet. The African settled all over the planet, and the African created every civilization on the planet. I get that. I agree with that. But your home continent is Africa. And I'm telling you now, everything is changing. The Africa will rule this motherfucking planet. And all that wealth is going back to the African people. See, the docile African, Joby represents the new African. So she's one of many. So the ones that's coming behind her are going to be just as aggressive, just as spirited, just as confident. So this was coming. Trying to give you guys the warning. I'm telling you, get your ass to Africa and start building because, motherfucker, once these babies that are now babies get to be 20, their confidence level, all that shit that's been stolen, they're going to take it back. So Africans immediately go from the bottom to the top because there's no place. Let me explain this to you. There's no motherfucking place on the planet like Africa. No place on the planet. There's no place wealthy as Africa. I
mhm.
mean this. The wealth of Africa is so fucking overwhelming, so astonishing. I want you. Everybody's wealth is built off the back of Africa. You look at what the Europeans had. Europeans were impoverished. All that wealth came from Africa. You look how Asian, like the girl was on Airtime show last week. Oh, the Asians have a few smart people. All that bullshit. She believed no. Their wealth came from Africa. Why do you think all these Asians are in Africa now? Because Africa is the
Mhm.
wealth of the planet. Okay, let's say you got a car. Africa is the motor of the world.
but the people who live in Africa have not had control of the motor. Now the people are going to get control of this goddamn motor. Go ahead, play your video.
All right.
Hello, everyone, my dear kings and queens. This news will shock you. When other African countries are freed from the chains of exploitations and
Exactly.
France, Kenya has shocked those countries by announcing to host France Africa Summit. Remember that Kenya is a non French speaking country. Oh,
Exactly.
from
They don't want to
now
leave Africa.
we will host the Africa France Summit in 2026, a conference coming when police is struggling to keep its former colonies on its side. You may ask why Macron has decided to put or to shift the summit to East Africa. First of all, you must understand that next year, the year 2025, January, there will be an election of the African Union Commission, where one of the candidates of the African Union Chair Commission is the man from Kenya, Mr. Raila Odinga. So, and it looks like Raila is going to win to become the
Why would that matter? Why would that matter? If the African Union was controlled by Africans, why the fucking French would be there? Because the African Union, guys, is not controlled by Africans. The
Yep.
Europeans control the African Union. That's why it does nothing for African people. Go ahead,
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
so Macron want to continue to control the African Union. So
Of
he's
course.
lobbying President Ruto, Kenyans, uh, to see that France is the best friend of Africa, of Kenya. So
Friends.
we will lob Mr. Laila to try to continue exportation. And you remember some people has been lamenting that
Yes.
Mr. Laila
Of the expectation.
is working for France. So Park is going home. So the coming chair is
And I
going
want
to
you to pause that for a second. I want you to say, why do these Europeans keep coming back to you, keep coming back to Africa? Because South Africa, they're poor guys. They want to keep coming back, trying to exploit you, trying to do, you know, they don't want you there. They don't want you in their countries, but they want to keep coming to Africa because it's the depth of Africa that's
Exactly.
created them into wealth. Want to keep coming back. Oh, we got to stay in Africa. We want to be, we're your friends. We're this. We're that. If you're poor and fucked up, why don't they just leave you alone?
Exactly.
Go ahead, Joe.
President Macron has shifted the summit to Kenya. So Macron is very, very tactic. You know what he's doing. It is not accidental to bring this summit to Kenya.
They always know what they are doing. What do you mean? Like these agendas are always set ahead.
Exactly,
Up
Joby.
ahead. This always
Ex-
comes as a surprise to us right now because
Exactly.
through the articles you've made me search, through the articles I've gone through myself, the agendas have been way set way
Yes,
back. They
Joby.
knew Kenya at this point, we're gonna need this school of opposition because he's been
Yes.
fighting for this presidential seat, which we've never given to him because he would have never served a good purpose. Let's try put him here and then we act like he has won.
Yeah,
But
exactly,
meantime,
Joby.
he's here to do our work, continue executing
Exactly.
the same president we've kept in power. So
Exactly.
it's not
See, once they know the information, he doesn't know that. He's still lacking information, but you know that that's what you said is exactly 100% true. So once you get, like I told you more, once you get Africans on you guys' level, knowing that which is coming, there's no more exploitation. No, you can't prove. The problem is that they can always fool Africans because Africans have been kept, and ask yourself, why
mhm,
won't these Europeans in South Africa go back to Europe? Because there's no land there for them. They go back and be poor. They don't got great farmlands in Europe.
mhm,
They're all in Africa.
exactly.
Remember when it came to, like Joby's right, when it came to Africa, they used Africa for their farmlands to feed them in Europe.
Mhm,
So why would these Europeans go back? They hate African people, but they want to be in Africa. South African white people hate you, but they want The thing is that they want South Africa for them. Because why won't they just take their ass back to Europe? You hate black people so bad. You're in Africa. Go back to Europe then. But they won't go back to Europe because they know Europe land is fucked up for farming.
Exactly. And even when with these agendas, because majority of I love the way why people are so smart, evil smart,
Look
wickedly
at Jesus.
smart.
Look
Like,
at Lee.
it's crazy. They have the clear sheets and say the clear sheets or the clear evidence of the papers, because every time they know they're gonna be either now or later. They know that Africans are gonna discover all this truth. I'm certain they do know, and they
Of course
know
they
at
know.
what point the
That's why they're
evidence
trying to stop it. Exactly, Joe. But they do
actually
know.
done. So this is why we have the shallow evidence, and even when you look at Google, this is why they have the confusion and why they are the ones who control Google. If you don't know how to
Yeah,
look at into links, they give you the
exactly.
shallow evidence of what you wanna see, But if you go,
Exactly.
the agenda is not what you saw on the first evidence. The agenda is so deep, because I think it was the IMF when you were making me read about the IMF or the which other law? How I was reading those laws of we should never have a messiah. We should never have. We should never lack. We should never have knowledge. Our education should remain the same. The
Exactly.
agenda have been set record straight, like very clear. But we think
Exactly, Joe.
they're just coming now to figure out ways how this can work. They when they step in, they already knew what they're gonna do. So this France Africa summit, I bet the agenda already, of course, it's already set. It's just the date that is supposed to be set. They wait for
Exactly.
2026 and they come actually summarize the whole thing. Man, why people are smart, and we need to actually understand this. They are wickedly smart.
You're smart. You're smart, Joby, too. But you just
We
have
are.
okay. So somebody got this right. Okay, you've been changed. Okay, I want you to understand this, Joby. Because of what they put you in poverty, and somebody got it right. Because of poverty, everything has changed for you. You don't think in advance because now what? You live now you're in a culture that lives hand to mouth. So now you're not thinking 2 and 3 years in advance, Joby, because you're living in a hand to mouth culture. You're putting poverty, so everything now for you is so, so everything that so everything now to you is what? Thinking about the future, of planning for the future, because you've been given poverty that affects your mindset. As white people have the wealth, now they can plan things in advance. That's what Africans used to do, Joe. You used to plan things in advance, but you can't do that, Joby, in a hand-to-mouth struggle culture.
I
You're
agree.
in poverty.
Hmm. I do agree with that, but I do believe slowly. I'm sharing the rest of the link of the video for those who'd love to continue over there. That guy talks slow for me. I just wanted to share the first part. I don't. I can't stand slow, man. Man, you need to talk faster. I can't stand that, but Africa slowly is waking up. But we need to, like I was saying, from starting from the South Africa situation, coming to how Africans were being treated outside. Again, like you said, we're considered the most poorest, but yet they come in our countries, in our continent, want to stay on the beach, want to be in the best resorts. We're the ones who've created that shit. You are never part of that civilization. So why are you coming to us poor, dirty beach
Exactly.
that you consider fancy, where
Yeah,
Negroes are, who you consider stinking, and you
yeah.
claim we don't wash our ass. You are the stinking one because you need to be by the water all the time, honey. We're used to the water, that's the difference. But we need to understand
Why?
how white people have
Exactly.
been
Why?
ruling their power,
Exactly.
how
Exactly.
they've
Why are
mastered
they?
their power.
Exactly. Their power has been brutal. Their power has been what? Brutal.
Hmm.
They've been brutally wicked. I mean, their power has been torture, brutal. It hasn't been like no coercion. It's been brutal. You're gonna
Yeah.
be this religion. You're gonna be beat. You don't. We're gonna kill you, and we're gonna steal all your land. We're gonna put and remember, man. Shout out to Demore. That damn documentary was deep. I already knew they did it. They were sodomizing black men who wouldn't bow to the queen. the ones of the Bushmen they were captured, they would sodomize them with their bayonets. Put their bayonets, the guns up the Africans' asses when they wouldn't bow to Queen Victoria. Oh, I think I lost Joe. I think the lights went off. You lost Joby, guys. The lights that went off up in there. I think it's for Joe, but then she got to go down there and pay that light bill. Yeah, like the lights went off on her ass. What's going on, Jim? How you doing, man? Like to try to read your comments. Yeah, lights went out. I think the electric bills due. That's why she told me the electric bill was due today. Yeah. Since the money go paid, I don't know if she paid it. She might didn't pay it yet. All the lights went off. I think Joey didn't pay the electric bills. Since everything for them is run off electrical, but electric transactions, automatic transactions. She's got to pay it with her phone. I don't think she had paid it yet. I don't think that was the light going off. I think Joey didn't pay the bill yet. So she's got to pay it through her phone. So I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm sure she's gonna pay the bill every time to come right back, come right on. Like Rudolph. So I'm gonna wrap it up, Jibba Jabba. I'm gonna let every time come back. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. At least I think that's what it is. I talk to everybody later today on the Africa Today show. I'll come back and join. If we just paying the bill, I come back on Airtime's show. See what she's talking about. So I'm gone, guys. Peace.